Hi everyone, I'm here once again, and it's not good news. It's never good news. I feel like I'm always constantly complaining. I wish I would like to just come and say something amazing has happened, especially when it comes to topics, and it's just every single day. Every single day is always something else to beat parents and carers and our children down with, you know. And I try so hard to just like be hopeful, you know, but it's hard. So, unless you've been living under a rock or, you've been trying to avoid getting anxiety attack and just avoiding the headlines and not looking at what's happening right now, we know that we're talking about the new send reforms that the government proposing. The thing that I suggested, when you hear them by themselves, they don't sound negative. They don't sound negative if it's they're kind of like in addition to or ways to improve what is already there, if you understand what I mean. Not to replace what is already there, right? And what is already there is broken, is fragmented, it's not working for majority of our children. That we all agree on. Well, I think maybe, I don't know everyone, but most parents that I've spoken to agree that it's not working. It's not fit for purpose, right? It's fragmented, it's bureaucratic, it's just messy, it's not streamlined, you know? It's not meeting the needs of the kids. That's a fact. What we would like is for it to be improved, for the needs of the children to come first, for families to be listened to. You know, the funny things that get me is we get all of this at the earliest foundation stage, talking about, parents are the first educators, right? That we know our children best, right? And we know how they learn. We have their best interest at heart, but the bigger they get, the more complex the needs, and then we're treated like we don't know what we're talking about, that we're somehow exaggerating or, not able to understand our children's needs. Like teachers know best, experts know best, and it's not really right, right? It's not right, because you see my child in your school a few hours a day. I see my child all the time. I see the bits you don't see, right? But I don't want to get bogged down about who knows the child best. I really just want to talk about these reforms that are coming out. I just want to touch on it. I want to touch about something that I've noticed. Is this it's insidious, right? It's like, when you're about to cook chicken. I know, bear with me. It sounds weird, right? But it's something that I've been thinking about a lot. And it happened not just with send, it happened with a lot of things, a lot of unpalatable news that the government wants to give us. They drop hints here and there to soften us up, to gauge the reaction, right? They drop the worst possible outcomes or the best aspect of it or things they're not sure about, and then they listen and watch as parents and carers and citizens react. And that's what we got with this SEND paper coming out. They've been dropping in, oh, we're thinking of cancelling the educational healthcare plan, or we're thinking of, reducing money, or we're thinking of taking away this and adding that. So things that are going to scare you so much that by the time they bring out all of these reforms, they're hoping that you would have been tenderized. That's it, like that chicken. Like you've been so worried about how bad it's going to be, and even if it's not that bad, you're so relieved that they can get away with taking away more of our children's rights. And I think that's what's going on now. Because there's no need to have all these big speculations about what's going to happen. This is not the same as, hiding things from political opponents. This is our children's future. This is our most vulnerable children's future and their rights. And so it really just gets to me when all these little hints are being dropped here and there, right? Just to get us ready for the worst possible scenario, so they can come with a very bad scenario, hoping that, it's not as bad as you thought it was going to be, right? So I've been looking at all the changes, proposed changes that we know about. The most controversial for me that I have heard about is streamlining and potentially replacing educational healthcare plans to reduce delays and inconsistencies. So, why, rather than just make it more efficient, why replace it when so there's delays and they're inconsistent? Why can't you fix the problem? The problem is bureaucratic. Fix the problem. There are legal protections that comes with having educational healthcare plans. Is anything that you're going to put in place, is it going to have those legal protections? Right? You can just see the panic on so many parents. Like, even with an educational healthcare plan, you don't even get what you're supposed to get. You don't get the support you're supposed to get. The nightmare of having to go for it in the first place is some of the time is because you're not getting what you're supposed to get. You're not getting the support. You're not getting the help for your child. So you go and apply for educational healthcare plan, which is another battle, another hurdle to climb over. And then when you do get that, that's not even being adhered to with legal protection in place, because they know, as parents of carers and carers of children with SEND needs, your plate is overflowing. You barely have enough energy to look after yourself, your child, the rest of your family. Then you've got to be fighting local authority. You've got to be arguing with schools, right? So they know, and all the processes are put there by them. They decide what the penalties is if they're late to meetings. They decide how long you have to wait before you can complain. They deal with the complaint procedure. They are their own watchdogs in the first instance. So you are just waiting and playing catch up. So to go through all of that process is so much work that most parents don't bother. They can't afford to bother because their plates are already full. So something that is legally binding, that is supposed to be protecting your child, providing for your child's needs, is not being fulfilled. They're not fulfilling that statutory obligation. Their procedure for complaint and redress is long, is complicated, is convoluted, is dreamed up by them, administered by them. And you, as a parent, are beaten down and have no energy and no recourse to fight that battle. So you're just grateful for the little they do. And now, rather than fix that or put even more protection in place, or put the one thing that I'm going to keep talking about in any of the video I do now, because I have noticed that, is that there are no responsibility and accountability. There is no accountability. If they're not fulfilling their statutory obligation, if they're not doing what they're supposed to do in the education and healthcare plan, be it the school, be it the local authority, nothing you can do. You can complain. They have a complaint procedure. All of that is in place. But who's watching who? Because the local authority, it's like they have no power over the school. They can't make the school do anything because they want to work collaboratively with the school, especially if it's an academy. They have no coercive power. So it's up to the courts. So you want to go to the courts. You've got all of this going on. Parents are leaving their job. Parents are becoming lawyers. They're becoming advocates. And then rather than fix that, rather than hold local authority as well as schools accountable, making sure they put the provision that has been agreed in the educational care plan in place, streamline the complaint procedure, make it immediate, not this long-winded thing of weeks and months and sometimes years, where all the while the child is suffering, the child is missing education, the child is getting left behind, and the parents are getting broken. The family is fragmenting. You want to take that away. But at no point in all of these rumors milling about have you said what you're going to replace it with. Right? So tell me why I don't think you're just playing with parents at this point. Like, we're just powerless, and that you don't care about us or our children. We sign petition. We write letters. We tell our stories. Parents cry, parents scream, parents get angry. But you don't listen. No one's listening. They're not listening to the parents, and they're not listening to the children.